Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. This is Nutritionist Deepa, and I have a honor today to introduce you all to Maya Thornton, who is what can I say about Maya? Who is an influencer with a huge heart. And we met at a conference recently, and it was an instant connection. And I got to know what she does, and what she does is she's an influencer for being healthy through a plant-based lifestyle. And what is really unique about Maya is that she practices or offers faith-based advice, so that adds another layer of compliance and positive energy to everything that we are doing. And Maya is a book author of couple books, and Diet Can Cause It and Diet Can Cure It is the one which is signed by her and given to me. So that's the one I have in possession here right now. But she's also a author of a book called Vegan at a Barbecue. Nonetheless, I'm super excited to have Maya join us today to talk about a very interesting topic, uh, as we are approaching the holidays, which is learn how to enjoy holiday meals without giving up joy, feeling guilty, and left out. So, Maya, welcome to our community and welcome everybody. And please help us get through this holiday season without giving up joy and feeling left out.
Hi, Deepa. So happy to be here. And everyone, we can thank Deepa for selecting this topic. And I didn't exactly shy away, but uh, you know what, as I got into it, Deepa, I became much more appreciative. So I think this is right on point and highly timely. So without, there's a lot here to cover. Therefore, I'm going to ask you to hold your questions to the end, jot them down. I'm also going to ask you to have handy a sheet of paper that you can do a little exercise with us on and write down a couple of answers. Just a sheet of paper, a pencil will do. And we're going to get right into the topic. I hope that at the end, uh, we can get a comment, an aha, a question, something that you might want to say. So again, Deepa chose this topic, and I'm thankful. The topic is learn how to enjoy the holiday meals without giving up the joy and feeling guilty and feeling left out. Remember your values. I almost wrote goals, but I said, no, no, no. Remember your values. So get ready to write down one or two of your values. And while you do that, I'm going to name just as suggestive. So I believe we value aging well. That's why we're here. But go ahead and write yours down. Another that I thought of is valuing not to be dominated by others. That is, let's say, come on and eat a piece of cake or do something you might think. So that's one of my values is not to be dominated by the situation. Another value is I want to see strength in me. So we'll say a little more about that later. But by now, we've written down your values. You to write down people in your life who are most difficult.
Maya, can you increase your volume, please? It's breaking a bit.
Let's do that. Guys, well, let me know if this is a little too loud.
No, it's not too loud. It's just little bit breaking. But you are, let's try it again.
Put on your paper names of the people close to you who you find difficult to resist. So I'm just going to name some positions here, like maybe your mama, or maybe best friend, best cousin, who's your running buddy, and people who can say, let's do this and eat this, take this here, join us, even when you know that you are resisting. Now, this plays into some of the joy over the holidays we might be giving up, or even some of our values if we
Maya, you are frozen.
regain. Okay, so I did put this here for humor. Situation where people are ready to eat, and here you come with a friend, and you're like, hey, everybody, I brought a vegetarian. If you're like, anybody had a reaction like that? It's like, calm down. It's okay. But, maybe the host is thinking, I wasn't expecting this. Okay, well, that's just to be a little bit of humor there. Okay, I'm going to stay on this one for a minute. So, when it comes to feeling left out, that's huge at a holiday time or some other social gathering, like a football party, 4th of July. So, it's easy to feel isolated if you feel very different or if other people are not comfortable. Since we're focused on food here, then I'm going to use that as people are conscientious about what's on their plate. I I do not start conversations about what's on my plate, but almost always someone close to me will say, "You didn't get, a meat, or you're not drinking, or don't you want dessert?" Or yes, I love desserts, but other people will notice. And so, surrounding food, we have a certain connectedness. It's part of the fellowship of food that we are sharing. Also, part of our togetherness, we want to be respected, we want to be supported, we want to be affirmed. And that can be kind of difficult if we ask ourselves, uh, is it important to me that they're okay with my choices? So, in our journey somewhere, we learn to release that. Uh, I, I know the term approval seekers, and I remember years ago wondering, is what I'm doing accepted in this group or at this table, when people were pressuring me to do something that I had chosen not to do, especially in the way of food. That, by the way, is exactly, guess what? My cover for vegan at the barbecue, I believe, is just within reach. So just give me just a little second here.
That's right, because I'm just going to chirp in while she's grabbing the book. Is, we go in, if we go in at these events as, hey, we are something different, or there's not going to be anything for me, then our attitude and people's attitude towards us is going to be uh, is going to be different. If we go in with a mindset, what's so different about me? I'm a same person with one head and two hands and two eyes, and it's the same human being, right? It's just that I'm eating uh, not even differently. I'm just making careful choices. That's all. It's not that this food is especially exported or imported from different planet. So part of this whole journey is to be aware of the fact of aware of the fact that who you are and why you are doing it. Okay. And having that mental mindset that this is not about what I'm giving up, but this is all about what I'm giving in. And that being said, it once you start to recognize that value, and once you start to uh, understanding the value of what you are gaining, which is really your health, your well-being, your energy, your sleep, your physical stamina, uh, sexual health, uh, self-esteem. If you are gaining all those things, then what you have given up, and really whatever we have given up is not something that we were meant to have to start with. And that's why the mindset, we I'm sure Maya does the same thing with her patients, or I do the same thing with my patients, that is, before giving diet out or giving a meal plan, so to speak, is the easy part of our jobs. The difficult part is to make sure that people they make that switch uh, from what they are giving up versus what they are gaining. Maya, are you there?
I am.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to return to screen share.
Okay.
And I was just going to say this is exactly why actually the book Vegan at the Barbecue was written, because I heard enough people speak heartfully and painfully about the pain they have going around family at holidays. In fact, one lady said his
Was
my
on
husband,
six, sick,
my
was on sick,
Some, somebody's phone is need to be on mute. Just make sure everybody, your phone is on mute.
her comment was, my husband's family mocks me and he laughs with them. Another person told me, I won't even go around my family at a holiday. I will eat at home and I'll go after dinner. And so I wrote Vegan at the Barbecue to create a kind of understanding, whether in a good fellowship of food, whether you are the host and you really want to be more respectful or sensitive, embracing of people who eat differently, or whether you are the guest and you don't want to show up judgmentally or making people feel uncomfortable. But there are ways, even also in the book, I have suggestions on communicating with the host um, prior to the event, so that even the host is not feeling awkward like that. Okay, so because it's important to connect around food. So some of the highlights in my summary section, you see which of these you relate to. Um, Being respectful to others regardless of their eating choices. The book addresses all of these. When others ask about your vegan lifestyle, you can consider that a teachable moment. Be very respectful and sensitive to the host, because many times the host has wanted you to be to have something, right? More than potato chips and watermelon, right? Okay, a guest should be gracious regardless of what food is or is not provided. Communicate with your host in advance. Such things as that. There's more, but that's some of the summary. Anybody relate to any of the things I just said about when you are either the host or you're the guest?
Yeah, I do. As the host,
Hmm. Anything you want to share?
well, for me, it's kind of like your little cartoon says, "Oh no, what am I supposed to do?" Because I did not prepare anything specifically designed around them, or I feel some type of way that the rest of the guests may be eating a certain way in front of them, where I feel like they might be uncomfortable.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So there are suggestions in the book to bridge it and to discuss it and think it through. I remember a lady from China said to me, "What's the big deal? People really care if you're eating meat or not?" She said, "Because um in Chinese, in China, we always have a lot of both." Well, they have a lot of both. That's what she said. I know that in circles I'm in, there might not be a lot of both, right? Might be one vegetable and it has pork or oxtail, if you know what I'm talking about. So, just that, but people do care. And I said, and I really want her to understand from another culture. Whereas meat is assumed, we call it entree. So I said to her, if you went back to China and you announced to your family, I don't eat, I'm going to generalize and say rice or maybe bean sprouts or bamboo. If you went back and said, I don't eat bamboo anymore, that might be such a shocker psychologically. You don't eat bamboo or you don't eat rice? And then if your answer was, well, because, it's not good for my health. And so I wanted her to kind of relate with us. We're in a society where people are believing, the protein comes from the animal, or they're thinking the best protein comes from the animal. And so it's a shocker to them if you say, um, actually, I learned something different. They're like, you're crazy. Okay. Now we're going to move on to feeling guilty. Now, even though sometimes we may try to give yourself permission, I'm going to share with you one of my stories. I had not had chocolate for over a decade, and I went to a New Year's Eve party. Hershey Kisses were there. So after I had two, I'm like, I'm going to have three. After I had three, four, and it went to six. Six was enough. I gave myself permission. I did not know that the next day, how I would have a migraine that set in and stayed with me 3 days. You see, my body had not been used to caffeine, only six Hershey Kisses. And so, uh, the commitment I had to make when my migraine left, and by the way, it was a matter of prayer on a Wednesday morning. And I remember saying to God that I had given myself permission. And so, anyway, I was like, help me with this. And by the way, it's the last Hershey's been in my mouth. But anyway, we give ourselves permission. But I want to show you something else called dissonance. Dissonance is when we have a certain standard and we, I might come back to eclipse. Dissonance is when we have a certain standard. Let me move this out of the way. And draw this on your piece of paper, please. Just a pole. And then somewhere from the lower part of the pole, just draw a little half circle out. And I'm going to do the same. So I'll show you how it's going to look. Just a little half circle out like this. If the lighting is good, you can see it.
Hmm.
From this half circle out, I want you to draw a dotted line from the top of the pole to the half circle, or partial circle to be more accurate, right? So it looks like this. And I'm going to do two arrows that look like this. So what the pole is representing is the standard, whatever standard you're thinking of. What the end of it down here is where you could be in a deviation from the standard. Like for instance, people are thinking I should have lost weight, but they say, well, I'm not where I have my standard in my, so I have a deviation, I have dissonance. Or people could be thinking, I should have better self control, but I don't. So in here, they have a dissonance. So, what lies in this area of alignment? Such things as feeling, I'm disappointed in myself, or I'm frustrated, or I'm weak. We tell ourselves, I'm ashamed. I'm going back to a family event and I'm not so healthy. I'm using a cane. My hair fell out or whatever. So somewhere in that difference, that dissonance between what is the standard and where do you see yourself. So sometimes people haven't forgiven themselves. Sometimes they have pain and resentment. So there's a lot of emotion going on. If you feel like my standard is here, it could be eating, it could be fitness, it could be joy, energy. Like this should be my, and that affects us deeply. Thinking about, I'm going to tell people are not happy holidays. So part of our title is how to get through the holidays without giving up joy. I want to suggest to you that get honest about some of this dissonance that we carry and reaffirm to yourself what your values are that you listed. And if you want to be able to say, I want to see myself strong, I know for some people it would be, I stopped doing alcohol. And now they're thinking the holidays are coming over. My family's going to do a lot of toasting. But be able to own what your values are and be able to say, I am going to hold to them. If you know you're going into a place where it's difficult, or you're going with best friend or somebody who tends to say, come on and do it, and you tend to succumb, then I think when you pre-think, they say visualize. Anticipate how the conversation will go. And if you resolve that I'm going to say no, no, thank you, I'll sit it out, not this time, whether you want to be gentle with your language or firm with your language, visualize, and also visualize yourself saying no. Now, I want to tell you about one MVP. Forgive me, I could not even find his name or his sport, but I will never forget this story. He was a VIP who had given up alcohol, and he decided, I mean, they were toasting him at the big yearly toast. He was VIP of that sport, the MVP. And they said to him, "Aren't you going to toast?" He said, "No." They were like, "Well, this is a toast, man. You got the title." And he said, "I am not." And they said, "Well," they were telling him, "One drink won't hurt you." And I like his answer. He said, "It will weaken my resolve." That stuck with me because to indulge might have meant he may find himself indulging more. But whether he would or not, he had made a resolve. He took a stand. And then in that audience, that celebration, everyone toasted him, but he did not. So own your values and your goal. And I want to make another suggestion, and that is play a little game with yourself. Say to yourself, "I can resist." Because if it's desserts or you feel like sugar is your weakness, then you're like, "I'm stronger than sugar. I'm stronger than cheese. I'm stronger than chicken or turkey or whatever." Just play a little game like, "I am stronger." It's not going to win over me tonight. And I think that knowing that you succeeded in your values is affirming, and it's going to be part of your joy of the holidays. So use, remember your commitment, and make a decision that you also don't want to weaken your resolve. Another factor when it comes to feeling guilty is whether we feel judged. There's judgment. I do believe that my family upbringing is a large reason why I don't judge when I'm in other circles, because even though my mother and my grandmother were always vegetarian all their lives, that means that I grew up with both meat and non-meat. In those days, not vegan, but we were not calling it until 15 years ago. But there was always vegetarian food. There was always what meat eaters ate. Meat eaters ate the vegetarian food. But my mother used to ask us 5 children, "Who wants to be vegetarian? Who wants to eat meat?" And we would say, "I do, mommy. Um, I'll do it." And she would teach us to keep our commitment. So maybe she said, "You'll do this for a month or 2 months." Then she'd ask again, "Who wants to eat meat? Who wants to be vegetarians?" With both on the table. And so to me now, it seems very normal, very acceptable. My family and my extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles, church family, we always had both on the table. So, you know, and if people want to,
I don't know how to get on speaker.
somebody is on speaker, somebody's speaking. So it becomes very doable. Okay. So people will be accepting of the difference in your diet if you're able to say something like, "Oh, the doctor told me don't eat this. The doctor took me off of greasy foods or sugar." But I'm going to ask you, why can't, why wouldn't people simply accept your word if you say, "I eat differently"? Why are they more comfortable if it is a third party like your doctor? "Oh, I can't eat this. The doctor said so. How about I choose not to eat that?" Own it and be strong in your own choices. So why would they feel judged if I said I'm pre-diabetic and the doctor said don't eat, let's say cheese, very greasy and high sodium. But how about if I just say I made the choice? Why wouldn't that be respected? As just like if I said a doctor took me off of it.
Because I think, Maya, the reason sometime I feel is that everybody around us, okay, is pretty much, people are eating the sad American diet, standard American diet. Most people, right? That's why we are in trouble that we are in as a society. And when they see someone who is doing the right thing, because everybody knows that they need to eat more vegetables, there is nothing wrong in it. And like I was saying, it's not like we are eating a food that nobody on this planet has seen before. Okay. So now they are seeing someone who is doing the right thing, and this is more of a status issue. This is more of an ego issue. There is little bit of a psychology behind it. And that person probably also wants to do the right, wants to eat better. But it's having a partner in crime gives you that power. It gives them a reason to continue to do so. So they don't feel alone, and they don't feel guilty. Every human being is fighting for herself or for himself, and this is more of a defense mechanism. Because nobody stops anybody from taking medication or insulin or Ozempic at the dinner table.
Hmm.
You know, no, nobody says, "Hey, please don't take this medication. I take medication and my diabetes hasn't gone down, so you stop taking it." Nobody says that. But people haven't made that connection that food is medicine. You know, rather nutrition is our food, however
Mm,
they want to put it. So there is a lot of biology, psychology is driving these decisions at these social events. That's my interpretation based on some of the evolutionary psychology work that I have seen and learned from Dr. Doug Lyle.
mhm, mhm. And so it's not just food. Sometimes people are threatened, or
Yeah.
there you are protecting your health, and they think maybe I should be, or that's not important to me yet. So it's other things going on besides just food. Okay, and how are we going to conduct ourselves when we are with family and friends or the office party at the holiday? So now the other part of our title was how to enjoy the holidays without giving up the joy. And I know that we already touched on some of the answers, like visualize yourself in the situation. How will you handle it? Pre-decide to to enjoy being true to you. Okay. Make your success your joy. Predetermine whether you're going to give yourself permission over something. Like I told you, I had eaten the little Hershey kisses, right? But it's not a regular. It didn't change my behavior. Uh, be careful about it. If you figure that you use your best judgment. I'm not saying if you don't this piece of cake, I'm not saying go for it, but if you say, you determine, okay, what you will do, and you stand strong in that. Okay, remember that MVP winner. Okay, so whatever is the tempting thing for you, and it could be whether being with family. Now, you know you're going to stay up late and talk half the night, but yet early sleep is important to you. Or maybe fitness is part of your routine, but that's not hardly going to happen with a big family breakfast or so you may have things you decided on. Okay, the dietary ones, you may have decided, I'm not drinking beer with my brother-in-law, or I'm not going to have caffeine, or everybody drinks tea, but I decided I want to say no, or my aunt made my favorite macaroni and cheese, but I'm so there are, definitely those dietary things that we want to talk about. Deepa, um, is there anything else that you want to add?
I mean, see, the other thing is, it's not so much about uh, uh, what, how far you are deviating from the pole, but it is also important to get back and find that pole again. Yeah, because what happens is people technically, the Thanksgiving meal shouldn't start the spiral of completely going off off track, right? I mean, people are going to get into this mindset starting tonight or tomorrow. Oh, this is Thanksgiving week. No, this is a week where Thanksgiving happens to be one day.
Mhm.
So putting your goals in that context,
Yeah.
uh, about
Speaker.
uh, that hey, this is one day and one meal, and I'm going to have maybe a planned slip off, as I call it, because it's not like I don't know Thanksgiving is coming, or last 2 weeks we celebrated uh, Indian holiday, called Diwali. We all know exactly when Diwali is coming and exactly how many houses we have to visit and everything. We just like somebody is training for a marathon, or somebody is training for their work, or how kids prepare for their exam. This is no different than planning your meals, because we are talking about your life. If we don't plan what we are going to eat or what we should not be eating, and expect a spectacular disease free life, it's not going to happen. What you want and what you are doing, these two things need to match. And Maya, please chirp in and kind of again reinforce that how important it is to know your why.
Know your why and know your values. Matter of fact, Deepa, that is going to bring me to this eclipse screen, which we all know. Okay, my computer has a mind of its own. We all know that the sun is 400 million times the size of the earth. Now, this representation on the bottom doesn't kind of show it like that, but 400 million times, I can't fathom it. And yet, the positioning of the moon can eclipse the sun. Why? Why does it eclipse us from us? Well, actually, the moon does its rotation, so we're going to have to visualize that bottom part a little differently. But because we're on the planet Earth, and so it's our positioning, even though the moon is smaller, it's like if I have something as small as a dime or a penny, and I put it so close to my vision, I can block out most of the room, right? So sometimes, as you were saying, Deepa, sometimes we're seeing just the immediate, but I want you to look beyond the immediate to say, oh, this is difficult one evening at an office party, or one meal, Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah, and to say, I have a larger goal to be true to. And then surely, I know for me, when I succeed, then I'm proud of myself for that. Okay, so some of this holiday joy, I'm not giving up the joy just because I say no thank you to somebody's cookies or pudding, nana pudding, banana pudding for people who don't know nana pudding. Okay, so you want to remember your larger goal. That is like the sunshine. You don't want it eclipsed by something smaller, like I have to make somebody else happy. Um, Here is how vegan at the barbecue looks. I gotta find out what I can do with this. Okay, so it's written for the host and for the vegan guests so that your fellowship of food is joyful and not stressful. I know that we've all seen lots of everyday foods that we can make vegan. Although I put the title pork and beans, and I did put the title chicken and rice, then I know and you know that there are the flavors not from pork or chicken, and there are the textures and products that can simulate these other foods. So just in case some people are among us who wanted a few more ideas for cereals, hot cereals, even cold cereals. Most of us like pancakes and waffles and those kind of things. And even if it's potato salad, you know that on the market I'm being very practical here. On the market, there are non-dairy mayonnaise and other condiments and pickle relish, etc. So, one graphic, I said I will have this Thanksgiving. I'm going to make a plate and I'm going to snap a picture. This is going to be a plate without the turkey on it. After that, I'm going to put the turkey on it, not because I'm going to be eating it. This is just photography. So I'm gonna put the turkey on it. But I was telling Charles this, that the plate's gonna have the mashed potatoes and the corn and the greens and everything else on there. Cornbread is gonna have everything on there. And so that I can show that to people that look, you would have eaten a full plate anyway. And even if you didn't have the meat, you would not have gone away hungry. Okay. And then for you, this is actually a holiday special. I partnered Vegan at the Barbecue with Vegan Snap. Yes, I call it a cheat sheet. And that is so that uh, anybody can quickly, in making one meal, you can adapt it, whether you're feeding plant-based eaters or not. And this is the response to people who said, I'm the only one in my family who eats like this, and I can't make two meals.
Hmm.
So we make vegan cheat sheet. This is a mother-daughter act with my daughter, Mandisa, to say that you can prepare your meals without double the cost, double the preparations and time, or double the cleanup. So I partnered these two together to make it a holiday special. Just like our first graphic, you bring your company in, everybody's like, don't say, oh, what am I going to do if somebody's going to bring plant-based person to your home? So it's like, I don't know what they're going to eat. We don't have any farm. No, these are to make it easy for you. So don't say, oh, say, I got this. And remember, you can think of others because they are a gift idea too for people who you know want this to be easier. Okay, so this is the special. This I will never put online. I will not be putting my phone number online. So I put this here for you. And so the special is really just going to be good. I will honor it, even if you reach out to me in a couple of days. You can text me and say, hey, I'm ready to do this. But you can go ahead and screenshot this if you're going to want to know how to reach me for this. And then what you would write in the memo of it is vegan barbecue ebook. If you're only going to get one, if you want both of them and save some money, then you would write BBQ and snap. So go ahead and screenshot that. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, now let's
We'll,
see.
yeah, we'll ask. Are you? Do you still have a couple more things to share, or we can just discuss? We can
I'm
just do
happy to share.
discussion and question.
I'm actually hitting this screen share and it
Okay,
worked.
perfect.
This is
Thank
to
you
be
so
some
much,
kind
Maya.
of aha. Any quick comments you want to make?
Absolutely. So, I'm just going to read a couple of comments that have been posted in the chat. If I could just learn how to open the chat. Okay. All right. So Faith has been faithfully agreeing to everything that you are saying. And, Faith also is a big believer in what we do. And she also has a task of taking her patients on this wagon and making sure that they they don't fall off, and if they do they are back on. So Faith just said, yeah, wow, we are talking about life here. I mean, is it really worth completely losing track of what you're doing because of that one meal? And like I was saying, we have so much more to gain versus to lose. I don't even know what I'm losing. I'll give you an example. So like I was saying, last 2 weeks or so, the Asian Indian community was celebrating this holiday called Diwali, and it officially ended on Sunday. And then on Monday, I had couple of my old patients and new patients came in for an appointment, and they all sat here and they were feeling guilty, they were feeling frustrated, they were feeling tired, they were feeling their digestive tract was not working, and they had uh, uh, almost tears in their eyes that, how did this happen? And as nice as I can be sometimes, I told them, today I have nothing but a Kleenex to offer you. I said, you have to go back and really take a moment and think through and say, what do I want? Was this holiday, which is supposed to last for 4 days, went on for 2 weeks? What do we do? And that's exactly what we are going to say to our people, that Thanksgiving is coming. It's not going to just drop from the sky. You know exactly how it is played. Prepare, plan, just like that MVP. You be the MVP of your health game, and that's it. What more? you know uh, Karen here has a good suggestion. She said that, when such discussions happen, she tries to redirect in different ways. It helps a lot to kind of deflate the pressure, which is a fantastic suggestion, because you don't want limelight on you.
Mm-hmm.
And just saying this is a good time to talk about weather. Okay, yeah, you know okay, forget about my carrots and cucumbers, why am I eating and why am I doing. What about this weather? What do you think about this, that? We find something else to talk about. Faith.
Deepa,
Yeah.
your own work in the plate side manners.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful work. You others will want to be familiar with it. And she shows, meals that apply culturally, and it's more than vegetables. Now, I know I labor hard to say, although the word vegetable is related to the word vegetarian, that doesn't mean that one only eats vegetables, because there would be beans on the plate, there would be bulgur wheat on the plate, even pasta if you choose. There would be rice, there would be spelt, uh, there would be lentils. I know when I'm shopping in an Indian store, they have almost a whole wall of lentils, every color of the rainbow, right? Purples and yellows and pinks, every color. And the same is true for beans. And then there's so many choices of nuts. So while people like my plate in here, by the way, one thing that's funny in this book is what I call the pity plate. And I call pity because I see Faith laughing. But yeah. Because people are looking at your plate saying, honey, ain't you going to be hungry? And you didn't get any of the good stuff. And in fact, they are pitying you. Even if I love salads and I like a huge one, and no matter the variety, I could have put sunflower seeds, I could have put sesame sticks, garbanzo beans. There's a lot of things I could have put on there, right? Besides beets and lots of things. But my point is, people are thinking, honey, you didn't get protein. They pity you. So by the time this book is over, you know what I say? Make them jealous. Make them look at your plate and say, Charles is probably laughing at me. Make them look at your plate and say, wow, that looks good. And even something like a lasagna, they might be thinking, okay, lasagna has beef, doesn't it? Or it's chicken, isn't it? No, because that lasagna can be made nice and filling, and you might have put eggplant in it, or zucchini, or broccoli, or potatoes, or so many other things mushrooms, people are into that. You might have put so many things in it. So when you bring your plate and they're looking at it, if they see cornbread, that's fine. If you use non-dairy mayonnaise in your potato salad, pasta salad, that's fine. Then what you're representing doesn't look so strange.
Absolutely. I mean, like you rightfully said, Maya, those cultural pyramids of different foods. I mean, they have 6 steps, 6 food groups that we can put on our plate. How many food groups we technically want? Except one animal, we have put everything else that is from the plant world. Not to mention the flavor, not to mention the migraine and headaches and lethargy people are going to have the next day. So all in all, we talk about joy. What is the definition of joy? Getting tired after you finish your meal and lying on the sofa, is that bringing you joy? Next day, or going home and stopping by at a pharmacy and buying a bottle of Tums, is that joy? So I just don't, sometime I have to tell, I try to understand when people say you are not enjoying your meals, what do they mean? That I'm not enjoying the pain? Or that the sad standard diet is going to give me. So I sometimes I tell them to define what is joy, and that actually takes a little more holistic conversation. But yeah, there's so much to do, so much we can discuss, but having people, like-minded people, just come here and kind of brainstorm helps. Faith, go ahead. You have a comment.
Just a quick comment. First of all, thank you so much, both of you. I think this is such a powerful conversation when you take a look at, just the benefit of not going off the rails and just the joy of feeling after a Thanksgiving meal, like I'm on track. So one of the things that I'm preparing is just some of my secrets for how do you stay on track and have an amazing Thanksgiving. And, one of them is just what you said, you're planning for this. Thanksgiving is not going to take us by surprise. And I think you have to really go into this strategic, because for some of us, like, we are serious about reversing prediabetes. We're serious about lowering some of these medications. We're serious about the weight loss progress that we've made. And so I just encourage you, kind of like what both of you are saying, be strategic. This is one day. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate this discussion. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Faith. So Charles has a question. He's saying, why do you think doctors don't recommend you being a vegan for the betterment of your health? Well, first of all, doctors don't believe in nutrition. They themselves don't know that this is a solution. And if you have heard Dr. Kim Williams, he's a cardiologist. if you have ever heard one of his lectures, or I would highly recommend you go on YouTube and listen to Dr. Kim Williams. And he says a doctor, specifically when it comes to diabetes and heart disease, who does not offer nutrition, and specifically whole plant based foods nutrition as a solution, that is not almost, but that is malpractice.
Did you hear
Because
that?
yes, because nutrition is your medication. It's a solution. As a healthcare professional, we have to offer right solution to the patient.
Deepa, the conference that we met at, let's tell them the title: Plant-Based Nutrition Health Care.
Correct.
Health care. They want it to be mainstream. And I know the Supreme Court made a decision about 8 years ago, and now medical schools, Charles, in answers to why not our doctors, the generation we came in, that generation of doctors hardly got anything on nutrition, not even 1 hour. But however, in recent years now, medical schools are having it. Cornell might have been among the first with their nutritional institute, T. Colin Campbell. But Charles, we can be connected, and you one day you're going to say, Maya, enough. Enough. So I'm glad that our nation, in other words, this whole body of information about food being the best way for reversing and avoiding and slowing the progression of chronic illnesses. You're ahead of the curve now, Charles, in that you're getting the information before the masses. But then again, that's the mission we're on. So it was quite a conference, right, Deepa?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was even surprised as how receptive those doctors were when we gave them the tactical, practical strategies on how to talk to their patients about nutrition. Because Faith is bringing out a right point here. She says a lot of doctors don't believe that their patients are interested in changing.
I have actually heard that. I've
Correct.
heard many a doctor say, well, people won't change. It's a lie. And I keep thinking, what research said that people don't want to change? People are willing to say, I'd rather eat good, and I do mean good in the true sense of good to you, good to your eyes, and good for you. I'd rather eat good than be in a hospital too soon.
Absolutely. But again, the doctors or healthcare professionals, or even see, each one of us here have capability and will get an opportunity to touch somebody else's life. Even at these parties that are coming up, all you need is one person who is little more receptive. Okay, and you will find them, because I truly believe that like-minded people attract each others, that law of attraction exists. Why do you think Maya and I are here today when there were 500 other people at that conference? Right, something clicked. Right, so similarly, when you are on this path, there will be one person, and surprisingly, you will never guess that, oh, he may be the oldest in the crowd, or the most verbal or very quiet person, but somebody will be receptive to this idea. All you have to do is to plant a seed without intimidating, and just say, I just started by cutting down on dairy and meat, and I'm feeling fantastic. And that's where you stop your preaching, and let him get curious, stimulate him, and you want to focus on the symptoms that improved, and not like, oh, my cholesterol went down or up, or A1C went down, and so on and so forth. But you have to connect that, I used to get headache and I don't have anymore. My energy improved. I lost inches, because people can relate to these things. all these sad American eater, sad diet eaters are suffering from low energy, poor sexual health, tingling and numbness in their hand and feet. They wake up with migraines. So if you tell them that these are the things which improved, that might spark more interest in what we are doing. And similarly with doctors, we first have to educate them, and then we need to give them right tools to take that message. And that's where people like Maya or myself or Faith here, we come in handy, because they don't have time to exactly translate the message. So the doctors need tools, just like they need tools to do an open heart surgery. The surgeon doesn't walk into the operation theater and start staring the patient off. That's not how surgeries are done. These are well planned events. Similarly, the nutrition prescription needs to be prescribed in a systematic manner. And as consumers, it is our responsibility, it is our duty to ask questions, and you know what, I have many patients who have educated their doctors.
And also, Deepa, people who are dietitians like yourself, people who are nutritionists. Actually, I'm neither. I am a certified health coach, but beyond that, my education has been decades of learning from even people who were in the room there. Okay, so many of them, I feel like I have a PhD in them. And so, and then of course I got some certification, but I've always been a teacher to make plant-based attractive. So
Absolutely.
doctors need dietitians and health coaches and everyone else, but they need us just like a lawyer by profession needs engineer by profession, or somebody in the insurance industry. Those two fields go together, because what the engineer knows, the lawyer did not learn that like that. They know the legal language
Correct.
or legal intent, but they need the structural engineer. Doctors need the dietitian, but then you have large healthcare. We're naming healthcare because that conference was plant-based healthcare, not just plant-based, around the corner in somebody's backyard. Healthcare should put a greater emphasis on plant-based. You will witness that in society. So I can call a big general name, like let's just say Kaiser Permanente, a big name, and they will have um, wellness trainings, wellness coaches. So do many corporations, wellness training, even as much as 40%. Well, we're way off subject.
That's okay.
The 20 people who are here with us. So I was appreciating, I still appreciate that Deepa said, let's say something about enjoying the holidays. Not saying, oh my goodness, my family's going to be so hard on me. No, look forward to walking in the decisions and the values that you have. Like, I value greater health. And I'm telling you, 6 little Hershey's kisses gave me that migraine that lasted from a Saturday night to a Wednesday morning. I don't believe I finished that testimony. I was just saying, to God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I just walked out of alignment on that I was convicted of. And within 2 minutes, my migraine stopped. Then it got very real to me, the parable of Jesus said to somebody, your sins be forgiven you. And that man walked.
Correct. Because you owned your mistake, and you said that's not the path I want to be on.
Within 2 minutes.
Within 2 minutes, exactly.
I know my husband was a witness.
I'm sure, because it happens, right? Lot of people, we all, not a lot of people. As a human being, we have tendency to come up with excuses. Oh, I want to change, but I want to change, but it's because of my family I can't do it. It's because of my spouse. It's because of my work. It's because of this, that. this is real life, we all understand. But just like breathing, we have made that our priority. What we are eating should also be our priority. On that note, I'm going to thank you, Maya, and everybody else who took time from their very busy pre-holiday shopping, cooking, what have you, and spent this hour or so with us. We are extremely grateful. So this Thanksgiving, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful every single minute of my life, really, because it's precious. But I'm thankful for all the people that I meet on my journey to this health transformation. I meet fantastic people. I met Maya recently, and this friendship is going to continue. So I wish you all very happy and healthy and safe Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next month.
Okay, and remember, be in touch if you have the interest. I
New
know some might
questions.
not have heard, but
Correct.
these are very helpful tools. And
Absolutely.
through Deepa or me, you can be in touch.
Absolutely. And Karen, thank you. Karen just wrote that, uh, all doesn't all disease like healing begin in the mind? Yes, exactly. Karen said it right. So we are going to go in with a winning mindset into this holiday season, and we'll be winners. So because we just don't have anything to lose, we are just winners. So thanks again, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa.
Bye.